A very good evening. You're watching 7 at 7. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me first start with the headlines. Special Parliament session that kicks off with Prime Minister Modi taking oath as the Lok Sabha MP. Top Modi mantris also swear in today. The Prime Minister asked the opposition to cooperate and work for public welfare collectively.
नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं।
Prime Minister Modi launches a big attack against the opposition as he says it's 50 years now of the emergency that was declared by Indira Gandhi. It's the anniversary of the emergency and he'll ensure under his watch emergency never returns.
भारत में फिर कभी कोई ऐसी हिम्मत नहीं करेगा जो 50 साल पहले की गई थी।
Constitution face-off in the parliament erupts. The opposition corners the centre, claims the constitution is under attack, while both promises to save the sanctity of the constitution. We see big protests that broke out outside the parliament even as the MPs took oath. Tamil Nadu Hooch tragedy's death toll rises to 58. The BJP mounts heat on the DMK government demanding a CBI probe. EPS leads the protest for the AIADMK against the Stalin government. NEET and NET, both investigations handled by the CBI now as the probe expands. Multiple arrests have been made in Bihar, Jharkhand and Gujarat, though the manhunt now is still on for Sanjeev Mukhia. The centre pins the blame on coaching centres, claiming the coaching centres could be instigating students to protest. Big setback for Kejriwal in the top court. No Supreme Court order until the High Court gives out its verdict, and that's likely to come in tomorrow. Kejriwal replies to ED charges, says the probe agency is yet to prove a money trail and that he's entitled to bail. Delhi Mantri Atishi refuses hospital admission amid her indefinite hunger strike, vows to continue her fast. The TMC lends support meanwhile to the Aam Aadmi Party leader, visits her during her hunger strike. The Tamil Nadu Hooch tragedy, the Kallakurichi tragedy that's killed 58. All fingers now pointed at the DMK government in the state. Hundreds are currently undergoing treatment, while 58 of them are confirmed dead. 20 of them are still critical. In fact, the opposition AIADMK, for the first time, we saw them in strength, coming out on the streets and protesting against the DMK Stalin government. The BJP too, up in arms, led by Annamalai, visited the governor today to take up the Kallakurichi Hooch tragedy. We saw Kamal Haasan as well, who visited the victims and also blaming the tragedy on carelessness. Let's have a look at this report.
The death toll in the Kallakurichi Hooch tragedy in Tamil Nadu is nearly 60. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is under fire. The BJP is demanding a CBI probe into the deaths.
इस पूरे मामले को सीबीआई के हाथ में सौंपना चाहिए। तमिलनाडु में न्याय नहीं मिलने वाले हैं। बिल्कुल सरकार के पीछे के रास्ता से सपोर्ट और पुलिस में सभी ने एकाध का सपोर्ट के साथ ही ये एक्टिविटी चल रही है।
The Saffron Party is also questioning why the Chief Minister hasn't met the victims and their families yet.
3 days it's over, but still the Stalin has not visited that place. So that's why yesterday our Nirmala Sitharaman madam is demanded the CBI inquiry. The CBI has to be inquire about that issue. The truth will come out.
The Hooch deaths have also triggered a full-blown NDA versus India bloc war. Health Minister JP Nadda has written to Mallikarjun Kharge questioning the Congress party's silence on the issue. Calling the deaths state-sponsored murder, the BJP is also demanding that Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra meet the victims of the tragedy.
It is not just shameful and crass on their part to otherwise make use of every tragedy that impacts a poor person and make it political. But when there is this type of havoc that has been created in Tamil Nadu, when 56 families have been devastated, Rahul Gandhi maintains a studious silence.
A delegation of Tamil Nadu BJP leaders led by K. Annamalai met Governor R.N. Ravi at Raj Bhavan on Monday, demanding that Minister Thirumuthuswamy be removed. The AIADMK also staged protests. DMK meanwhile is in damage control mode.
Yeah, they are definitely trying to politicize it. They want to take advantage in the Vikramandi by-elections. That is why they are all shouting like this.
But can the Stalin government really evade responsibility? Bureau Report, India Today.
We have big news coming in on the Hooch tragedy in Tamil Nadu. Big claims now by DMK MLA in Puducherry. The DMK MLA says raw material for spurious liquor has been sourced from the Union Territory of Puducherry. DMK says spurious liquor that's been sold is sold in plastic bottles, all stored and kept in Puducherry at an illegal shed. Illicit liquor confiscated now by cops in Puducherry. The DMK pointing fingers straight at the centre, saying that this is a union territory and this is where the stash was hoarded. I'm going to cut across to Pramod Madhav, who's tracking those developments very closely. Pramod, a quick word on what the DMK has found. We hear that a DMK MLA has managed to find large stash of spurious liquor in Puducherry, place governed by the centre. It's a union territory. The fingers pointed at the centre.
Absolutely, Nabila. Puducherry is a kind of like alliance government between NR Congress and BJP, and for the past 2 days it has been it's R.S. Bharati, the organization secretary of DMK, who claimed that there is a conspiracy behind the issue. He also stated that there could be like involvement of Annamalai and BJP, alleging that this could be a kind of an issue involving the Vikramandi by-election. And right now, Mudaliarpet DMK MLA, who went on for based on a tip-off, he went to a location where Muthumariyamman Temple region, and he found out that spurious liquor was being sold over there, and that's what you see in those visuals, where the liquor was like kept in packets and also in water bottles. In fact, it was stored inside a scooter. Now, the DMK MLA Sampath says that he did not even inform the police because he wanted to catch the culprits right-handed, and he was like immediately from that area, and that's the reason he said that they are taking the police for roadwork inspection. And once he reached the spot, he highlighted these issues. So this seems to be kind of like a support for what R.S. Bharati was saying for the past 2 days, Nabila.
Well, this issue has only gotten murkier. The DMK government, of course, have got to take responsibility for what happened and what happens in their state. Now, we see that they've managed to find stash in Puducherry, which is a union territory. So, at this point, the DMK says the spotlight is on the centre. How did they manage to allow for such spurious liquor to be kept in sheds to that quantity? Nonetheless, the state government now receiving flack from all the opposition in the state, condemning the Stalin government for allowing this kind of infiltration to happen. And shifting our focus to Karnataka, there seems to be no end to the Deputy Chief Minister's Nataka there in the state, bringing the issue of demand for more Deputy Chief Ministers to the fore yet again. 2 more ministers of Karnataka government have now reiterated their proposal for Deputy Chief Minister's post from various communities that includes Muslims, SC, ST and Lingayats. Karnataka Minority Affairs Minister Zamir Ahmad Khan has said that Muslims desired a Deputy Chief Minister's post for the community. He says the Congress High Command has been told about the same and that the decision lies with them. Meanwhile, the State Corporation Minister K.N. Rajanna also echoing the same, stating whenever power is distributed, it will help the party gain confidence of various communities. Listen in.
ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷ ಏನು ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಪಕ್ಷ ನಾವು ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಕೇಳೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡೋರು ಯಾರು ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಈಗ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್.
ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳು ಬೇಗ ಆಗದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸಮಾಧಾನ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಯಾವುದು
ಆಂತರಿಕ ಇದನ್ನು ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಸಮಾಧಾನಗಳು.
ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಯಾರೋ ಕೆಲವೇ ಜನ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಆ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಪ್ರತಿಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಲಿಂಗಾಯತ ಸಮುದಾಯ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, SC ST ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಲ್ಪಸಂಖ್ಯಾತ ಸಮುದಾಯ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬರು DCMಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಿಂದೆ BJPನವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ DCM ಮಾಡಿದ ಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೊಸದಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಜಮೀರ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸತೀಶ್ ಜಾರಕಿಹೊಳಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಸಚಿವರು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಮತ ಇದೆ. ಅಂತಿಮವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಏನು ನಿರ್ಣಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ನಿರ್ಣಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬದ್ಧರು ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತೇವೆ.
Party is known as anti-constitution to protect their own self-interest. They've been always working against the constitution. That is internal matter. They can make 5 deputy chief ministers, tell we have got no objection. Let them make it. That's their party issue. Always they've been fighting for power, not for people.
All right, now Suraj Revanna, Prajwal Revanna's brother, has been sent to 14 days police custody. The CID to recreate the crime scene and carry out a spot inquest. CID submits Suraj Revanna, in fact, all the call records and proof, whatever that they have of Suraj Revanna and the victim. Their interaction has all been submitted. The CID, as it investigates and goes deep into this investigation, finds there's been extensive conversation between the victim and Suraj Revanna. Therefore, 14 days police custody has been awarded to him. Let me cut across to Sagai Raj for more on that. Sagai, it's so quick. We see that the court sent Suraj Revanna to 14 days custody. That's really the maximum number of days, right in the first go. What have they found? Do we know if there's anything concrete that the CID has based their argument on?
Yesterday, when Suraj Revanna was produced in Magistrate House, the magistrate had sent him for 14 days of judicial custody. But today, again, after 1 day, the CID had produced a body warrant and he was being taken into custody by CID. And he has been sent to CID custody, that is technically called police custody, till 1st of July. That is close to 7 days from tomorrow, where he'll be under custody of CID till July 1st. In these 7 days, the police, the CID has explained to the judge inside the court, saying that they have to do merger, that is spot inquest. They have to take all kind of technical evidence, call records, and WhatsApp messages. They have also said that there are several WhatsApp messages which has been deleted after sending to the victim. So they have to retrieve all those things, and they should also register register the statement of the victims as well as the accused in this particular case. So they require more time. The CID had requested for 14 days of police custody, but the court has granted 7 days till 1st of July, and he will be under custody of CID for till July 1st.
All right, thanks very much, Sagai, for joining us on that. Now, more trouble really for Revanna family as the son, Suraj Revanna, is arrested. Of course, Prajwal Revanna is also in custody on allegations of rape. Suraj has been sent to 14-day CID custody, and the police has transferred this case to the CID because they hope that this investigation will deepen and they will try to dig out the truth. This comes after JDS worker who filed a complaint basically against Suraj Revanna, accusing him of forcefully carrying out unnatural sex. The victim claims that Suraj threatened him that if he did not comply, then he could even kill him, and also says if he did cooperate, then he'll help him grow politically. Here, Suraj Revanna is the brother of Prajwal Revanna, the son of HD Revanna, the grandson of HD Devegowda. Both Devegowda's grandsons at this point in police custody on charges of sexual assault. Meanwhile, you also have mother Bhavani, who's currently accused of abduction. She is now on anticipatory bail.
The law is always with the truth. So even in Karnataka, it's been a very fair inspection which is happening from all departments. That is why Mr. Prajwal Revanna. Now this happened during the election period. And the government itself took many days to bring back Prajwal Revanna to India. And as soon as he arrived, he was arrested, and all the investigations are happening in a fair pace. So now his brother is also under scrutiny because of a complaint lodged. So our government and our CM, we are going to be with the public who have suffered during all these crime issues.
All right. Now, for the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers, the MPs altogether had a good opening in the Parliament today as all of them took oath. The NDA taking over as a third time. Prime Minister Modi, in his first comment, attacked the opposition over emergency that was imposed by the Congress Party in 1975, saying that 25th of June marks 50 years since that blot on democracy. Let's take a look.
Day one of 18th Lok Sabha in Parliament started on a stormy note. The first shot was fired by the Prime Minister, who invoked the emergency to target the opposition.
कल 25 जून को भारत के लोकतंत्र में जो काला धब्बा लगा था, उसके 50 वर्ष हो रहे हैं। भारत की नई पीढ़ी इस बात को कभी नहीं भूलेगी कि भारत के संविधान को पूरी तरह नकार दिया गया था, संविधान के लीरे लीरा उड़ा दिए गए थे।
Prime Minister vowed that he won't allow a repeat of those black days.
इमरजेंसी के ये 50 साल इस संकल्प के हैं कि हम गौरव के साथ हमारे संविधान की रक्षा करते हुए भारत के लोकतांत्रिक परंपराओं की रक्षा करते हुए देशवासी संकल्प लेंगे कि भारत में फिर कभी कोई ऐसी हिम्मत नहीं करेगा जो 50 साल पहले की गई थी और लोकतंत्र पे काला धब्बा लगा दिया गया था। जो लोग
He also had a few more words for the opposition.
संविधान की गरिमा से समर्पित हैं।
देश की जनता विपक्ष से अच्छे कदमों की अपेक्षा रखती है। अब तक जो निराशा मिली है, शायद इस 18वीं लोकसभा में विपक्ष देश के सामान्य नागरिकों की विपक्ष के नाते उनकी भूमिका की अपेक्षा करता है, लोकतंत्र की गरिमा को बनाए रखने की अपेक्षा करता है। मैं आशा करता हूं कि विपक्ष उसमें खरा उतरेगा। लोग सब्सटेंस चाहते हैं, स्लोगन नहीं चाहते हैं।
The opposition has united to corner the Modi government in Parliament, declaring that they are the only ones who can save the constitution. From Rahul Gandhi to Akhilesh Yadav, all entered the Lok Sabha with a copy of the constitution in hand.
जो आक्रमण प्रधानमंत्री जी अमित शाह जी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर, संविधान पे कर रहे हैं, वो हमारे लिए एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है, वो हम होने नहीं देंगे। इसीलिए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ओथ लेते हुए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पकड़ा था।
100 बार यही बात बोलेंगे और इमरजेंसी के 50 साल हो रहे बोले तो तुम इमरजेंसी से विदाउट डिक्लेयरिंग इमरजेंसी यू आर डूइंग इट। इसीलिए हर बार वही बात बोल के आप कितने दिन ऐसा ही अपनी हुकूमत करना चाहते हैं।
The opposition is likely to target the government over issues like NEET and Lok Sabha Speaker election. The stage is set for the Parliament showdown. With Ashutosh Mishra, Piyush Mishra and Aishwarya Paliwal in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the 18th Lok Sabha commenced its first session today. The Prime Minister, along with all his newly elected MPs, took oath. Ahead of the session, Prime Minister Modi addressed the media, reiterating Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas message. He has also sought cooperation from the opposition. The Prime Minister took oath along with other MPs, including Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nitin Gadkari, Piyush Goyal, ML Khattar, H.D. Kumaraswamy, among others. This is the third term for Prime Minister Modi as the Prime Minister and the leader of the House. Modi addressed the people of India ahead of just taking the oath, pushing for consensus to run the country, asking for the opposition to come on board and have comprehensive discussions on matters. In fact, the Prime Minister has also said it was a historic moment for the NDA to take over and come to power the third term around, saying that this is the apt opportunity for the government to work towards Viksit Bharat and promises to work 3 times harder.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूं उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
Meanwhile, today we saw BJP's Basuri Swaraj, who's come into the parliament here. It's her debut victory. She's taken oath today in the parliament in Sanskrit, just like what her late mother did. Sushma Swaraj, the former External Affairs Minister, in 2014 had taken oath in Sanskrit. Her daughter follows suit.
Aham Sushma Swaraj Lokasabhaya Sadasyatven Nirvachitah निश्चयेन परमेश्वरस्य नाम्ना शपे यद अहम विधिना स्थापितं भारतस्य संविधानं प्रति सत्यां श्रद्धां निष्ठां च धारयिष्ये यद अहम भारतस्य संपूर्ण प्रभुत्व संपन्नतां अखंडतां च रक्षिष्यामि तथा यत् पदं ग्रहीतुम् अहम उद्यतो अस्मि तस्य कर्तव्यानि श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वक्ष्यामि।
अहम बांसुरी स्वराजः यह लोकसभाया सदस्यत्वेन निर्वाचितः ईश्वरस्य नाम्ना शपे यद अहम विधिना स्थापितं भारतस्य संविधानं प्रति सत्यां श्रद्धां निष्ठां च धारयिष्ये अहम भारतस्य प्रभुतां अखंडतां च अक्षुण्ण रक्षिष्यामि तथा यत् पदं ग्रहीतुम् अहम उद्यतः अस्मि तस्य कर्तव्यानि श्रद्धापूर्वकं निर्वक्ष्यामि।
All right, Trinamool Congress has now come to back Delhi Minister Atishi's hunger strike against the government on the water crisis. A TMC delegation has gone to meet with Atishi as she's on her 4th day of this hunger strike. TMC MPs meeting with Atishi while on a hunger strike and blames the BJP, saying all 7 MPs in the national capital are from the BJP. Not one of them is working towards helping this water crisis in the national capital. TMC says the Modi government should be ashamed for not intervening and aiding the national capital when it's seeing dire crisis of water. Let me quickly cut across to TMC MP Mahua Moitra, who's spoken. Listen in.
दिल्ली का जो गवर्नमेंट चल रहा है वो लोगों की सरकार है, वो लोगों ने वोट देके भेजा है और वहाँ पे अगर आप डेली वाटर रोक रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा शर्म कीजिए। और आप जो अभी इस गर्मी में लोग जैसे भुगत रहे हैं, हम कहते हैं बीजेपी को और हरियाणा को लोगों का अधिकार उन्हें दीजिए, इसीलिए लोगों ने आपको वोट किया है, आप प्रधानमंत्री बने हैं, हरियाणा में बीजेपी का मुख्यमंत्री है। जनता के साथ ये व्यवहार मत कीजिए। जो 100 MGT का डेफिसिट है उसको जल्द से जल्द रिलीज कीजिए।
All right, Atishi has said that she's going to continue hunger strike until there is some relief to the people of Delhi and the water crisis resolved, pinning the blame on the centre, the BJP entirely, for cutting short water supply to Delhi. Thanks very much for watching. Stay with us.